Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Healthy You. I'm your host, Jay, and I'm super excited to bring to you a totally different topic, something that we've never done on this show. And as you know, if you've been watching us, we typically host cooking shows. But this week, we wanted to do something a little bit different. We wanted to bring to you topics about healthy you in your totality, mind, body, and soul. So I'm super excited to be here in a completely different set and to introduce to you our host for today, which is none other than my awesome husband, Brad Snell. How are you, Brad?
I'm outstanding. Very happy to be here, and thanks for having me on the show.
We're very happy to have you. I wish we had an audience. We would be clapping right now. But since it's just me and you, I have a ton of questions for you. And I know the viewers will gain a lot of insight from all the things we're going to discuss today. But let me ask you, we've been married for a while, right? Mm-hmm. How is it living with a vegan?
I know, this is a great platform, obviously, to talk about not only the great parts about being a vegan, but also the challenges. And I know one of the very first times you mentioned, converting to veganism, I wasn't very supportive. I actually was against it. And, it didn't last very long for you. I think it was a couple weeks. But I know that when you decided to really tackle this thing, and as you did more research on it and really admired the lifestyle, admired the message that went along with it, you were a little bit more dedicated and focused. And just like anything else, when you set your mind to do something that you believe in, it becomes easier. It becomes very, I guess, focused for you to achieve that. And I think that journey for you, as it's become solidified and your vegan lifestyle now is a norm for you, it's easier for me as your spouse to kind of support that and just understand that it's more than just kind of a fad or just something to do. It's a lifestyle.
And let me share this with the viewers because they might not have an idea of what you're referring to. Initially, when I did start becoming a vegan, I did it for 2 weeks, and I just jumped in, and it was the most difficult 2 weeks of my life. And then I backtracked and I went back to eating meat, and then I started with vegetables and no meat, just a vegetarian lifestyle. And after that, then I became a vegan. And so Bradley is not a vegan at all, but so that's why I started with that initial question, because there are a lot of people in a lot of households who share that maybe one person's a vegan and one person isn't. So I know that in our household, sometimes I cook, sometimes you cook. Do you feel like it's difficult to cook for a vegan, or does it become a complicated, convoluted type of process for you?
Not really. I mean, when you're entering into the household and you've got, obviously, we're a family of three right now, but, you support what the other person or other people in your household, want to get into, and eating is a part of that. So one of the things that I look at least the nights that I'm cooking, is to try and put a lot more substance in the meal that I'm making.
So what is substance in your perspective?
For instance, if I'm making rice pilaf, right, I like to jazz it up, and I'll add things like mushrooms, onion, green pepper, different things to kind of make the meal a little bit more, or that portion of the meal a little bit more filling for you, because I know that while myself and Jaden will eat chicken or we'll have fish or something, that's not something that you have in your diet. So therefore, if I can add more to that secondary dish for us, which is the rice, and then even mixed vegetables, steamed vegetables, things of that nature, then all of a sudden that in itself can be a meal that's very filling for you.
Do you think that you were more accepting of me being a vegan because I didn't push it on you?
I think so. I think, moreover for me was to adjust to your choice to becoming a vegan versus you not pushing veganism on me.
Right.
And you know, it really, you helped make that transition a little bit easier on me, I think, because out the gate you acknowledge the fact that it's a personal choice and not one that is for the entire family to get on board with.
I agree with that. Do you think that well, not necessarily me being a vegan, but making these healthier choices helped you make any healthy choices of your own when it came to eating?
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. You know, I made very poor choices when I was in the military. You know, it was more of a convenience thing.
So what were some of the things that you ate then that you don't eat now?
Oh, lots and lots of fast foods, burgers, fried foods, things that are on the go, quick kind of conveniency meals, snacks that you can pick up, a lot of processed foods I was eating. And, you know, I mean, I really try to embody now that catchphrase, you are what you eat. I noticed that once I picked up some better health choices in terms of my meals, instantly I felt better. I had more energy, I had more focus. I was able to accomplish more in a day than I was when I was eating poorly before.
Right. Well, that's a great point to make. I know a lot of people think that because fast food it's just easier and it's cheaper, unfortunately, than going to the grocery store and buying. You can't really get an entire meal for $10 for a family of 3 at a grocery store, but you can certainly do that at a fast food place, and that's the sad part about it. But I mean, I'm definitely very happy that he's eating healthier. So as you can tell, and if you haven't noticed, my husband works out. So let's talk a little bit about physical health, because although eating healthy is a part and it contributes to your physical health, what else do you do to maintain yourself in a healthy space physically? And I know you had a transition too where perhaps you didn't look or feel the best. How did you motivate yourself to come out of that? And what things did you do physically to push yourself?
Well, first of all, you know, I always got to start out by saying, you know, when I talk to people that are concerned about their health or, you know, have aspirations to become healthier individuals, it's got to be a significant emotional event that happens.
Okay.
And I think in life, you know, with anything we do, if you want to quit smoking, if you want to quit drinking, if you want to eat better, you have to have something significantly happen in your space, in your world, that causes you to want to do those things. And it has to be strong enough to push you through the long haul of making that transition, whatever it may be.
So what was that for you? So
for me, you know, I was with my daughter, and you know what I do for a living. I'm in the network marketing space, but you know, I was with my daughter, and we were doing some things on the basketball court, and it was myself, Jaden, you, and you know, we were doing my favorite pastime, which is basketball. And you know, I was winded. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
You know, but you know, and at the time I just made this transition in business, and you know, the message was health and all of that. And I said, you know what, this is a great time for me to start getting myself healthy again, because I don't want to become that old man that's sitting on the side watching their child, you know, do whatever. I want to be proactive. I want to be a part of that. I want to be out there. And, you know, that was something that was significant to me. My children have always been the driving force behind the things that I do. And, you know, my health is no exception. So, you know, I began a journey of losing weight through healthy eating, no diets and, you know, special stuff, lose weight fast. It was a lifestyle change.
Right.
And it started with going in the refrigerator and really taking a look, and you know, like we say with cars, you know, you lift the hood and do a check, and I open the refrigerator and I say, you know what, 80% of the things that are in the refrigerator are not good for me.
Wow.
I looked in the cupboard, you know, I started reading labels, I started understanding how to feed my body and make sure it's operating on optimal levels. And, you know, I always equate it to a vehicle on the road. You know, you can have a Maserati, a Lamborghini, a Testarossa, whatever, but if you're not putting the right fuel in that vehicle, it will never operate at its optimal level.
Because they have the cheap fuel, the medium fuel, and then the premium, which is the best.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're going to spend all of that money on a high-end vehicle, you know, then why not put the best fuel? And your body is the same way. You know, your body is your temple. So, you know, why not give it the best so it can operate at its best? So, you know, that was the message that I had. And, you know, simple things for me started out with working out 3 times a week. And then that led to me saying, you know what, this really feels good. I didn't push myself, didn't try and lift up the whole gym initially. You know, I started out with things that in my mind I knew I could do at that point, but I still found that good median to push myself to that next level.
Sure. And
that led to me working out, you know, 5. Now I'm up to about 6 times a week where I work out. You know, I incorporate cardio, weightlifting.
Sure.
I'm very big into nutrition now. So, you know, I take vitamin supplements, all natural, organic stuff. I'm very cautious about my protein intake. I'm very aware now of how much protein I get per day, my calorie intake, my carbs, carbohydrates. That's another thing.
That sounds like a second job.
It's you know what, you say that, but I really, in the age of technology, there are so many free apps out there that you can download that, you know, you put in your personal information, you know, height, weight, you know, fitness aspirations, and it will tell you, you know, how many calories you're supposed to have per day. And a lot of this stuff is scientifically based. Obviously, you want to pick some more reputable stuff and do some personal research. But for me, I learned a long time ago that once you do something for a short period of time, 3 to 4 weeks, it can become a habit.
That's very true.
And, you know, once I started that, it seemed like a chore or something extra, but now it's to the point where I know, you know, I can get 42 grams of protein out of a chicken breast.
Sure.
You know I can get X amount of carbs from a piece of salmon and so on and so forth. So when I go shopping now or when I'm out and about, it's second nature to me. And I can notice, you know, when something's not right with my body. That means I haven't eaten something or I ate too much of something. And when you have that level of control over, you know, your body, to me, that's the best place to be because you know exactly what you need to do to fix it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is that a lot of people, they fear making some sort of significant change because they're looking at the end goal. So they'll say, okay, New Year's resolution, I want to lose 50 pounds. And then they get on the weight and they start doing, like they'll go to the gym for a week or for 2 weeks and they're like, man, I'm not losing weight fast enough. I'm not feeling good about what's going on. And they get easily discouraged. So to those people, I usually say, don't look at the end goal. Do something different every day that's going to get you. So if that means every night start doing 10 sit-ups and then every week thereafter increase by 10, then you're doing something that's eventually going to get you to your goal. But don't look at the end goal because then it becomes like really overwhelming. So when I said, wow, you're doing all these things, checking the protein, the carbs, it sounds like a second job, but I imagine that you started the process. You didn't just jump in. You like started little by little. You started going to the gym 3 times a week and making subtle changes. And so now your end goal, which is look healthier, eat healthier, it comes together. That was the end goal, but it didn't all happen at once.
Absolutely.
So I think that was a great point. Now, if you miss a day at the gym, and you mentioned if you eat the wrong thing, that you feel different. So what was the transformation like for you physically in regards to how you looked and how you wanted to look?
You know, I think you have a newfound respect for people that you know, maintain a certain physique. People that are physically, visibly in shape. You know, the level of, I guess, focus and discipline that you have to have is intense. But there are also, what I've noticed, people who do it as something that they enjoy, something that's part of their just day-to-day lifestyle. For me, ironically, I started out because I wanted to look a certain kind of way. I wanted to have more endurance to play with my kids. But as I started down the journey, I started seeing some intangibles that I didn't really notice or I was considering at first. You know, the Mayo Clinic did a study a couple years back, and it talked about how exercising first thing in the morning, it creates and releases endorphins.
Right.
And you know what that does is that promotes better blood flow, better brain activity. It helps people focus more. It also enhances our ability to be more patient, to be more creative thinkers. And you know, sure enough, I noticed that, you know, when I was in the gym and the mornings that I went and I started my day off exercising, I had an amazing day. You know,
right.
I was more focused, I was more energetic, I came up with ideas that I didn't have before, and you know, some of my best ideas in business have come while I was on the treadmill.
Wow.
And you know, I can't say enough about that aspect of it, because to me, that's where I've seen the most results. Physically, yes, you know, I like the person that I look at in the mirror today. And it encourages me to continue that journey. You know, it's one of those things where it's now maintenance for me. It's not getting to the ideal size and weight. I feel like I've achieved that for myself, right. But now it's about maintaining. And I love, like I said, that feeling of just energy and excitement and being able to and being able to, you know, have the patience to get through a day and deal with challenges. So I think, and everybody feels differently about it. You know, I was speaking with a gentleman just the other day, he's an older gentleman, and I had the privilege of meeting him. He's actually a pastor at a local church here. Sure. And he was just talking about how he writes his sermons in the gym.
Oh, that's different.
And yeah, you know, I mean, it was an instant conversation started, obviously, sure. And I just asked questions, but you know, when it boils down to it, he said, you know, this is where I can find the creativity to deliver the message that I need to my congregation. And, you know, it starts with me working out. And he said he follows the same regimen. And, you know, I was blown away by that, but it just makes sense because I've had a lot of, you know, significant things that have hit my head that really took my business to the next level, and I think it's helped our marriage and our relationship a lot. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay, so there it is.
I agree. And it does. I think when you're in a relationship too, it just helps build that bond because now you have somebody who's more patient, a little more rational, if you will, and they're level-headed, and it's almost like you're releasing all that stress and anxiety that you have pent up, whether it's from work, whether it's from health issues, from personal issues, and then you don't carry that with you throughout the day. So, I mean, for me, I'm not certainly in the gym all the time, but for me, it's running. So running is my way of just getting rid of all the stresses and being carefree in a sense, because for me, running is freedom. So everybody has whatever that is for you, whether it's writing, whether it's running, going to the gym, whatever that looks like for you, just start doing it little by little. And I promise you that it will become a habit that will be beneficial, not just for you, but for the people in your circle. So we've talked about your eating habits. Mm-hmm. We've talked about your physical health. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. So everyone, please stay tuned for our next segment and take a look at our public service announcement. We'll be back in a minute. See you soon.
For years, scientists have explored remote corners of the Earth, searching for exotic substances that might help prevent cancer. At last, man has discovered a secret place where powerful remedies can actually be found. Medical research shows that a vegetarian diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, can help prevent many types of cancer. Wherever you live, cancer prevention is as close as your grocery store. To learn more, call 866-906-WELL.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that public service announcement. As you know, we left off. I am here with my husband, Brad, and we have been talking about healthy living, healthy lifestyles, body, mind, and soul. And I think we left off where we were going to talk about mind. And Brad had a question for me, oddly enough. What was that, Brad?
Yeah, you know, I had the distinct pleasure of living with not only an amazing wife and mother, but an author. And, you know, I just wanted to, first of all, say congratulations again on the success.
Thank you.
And everything that you're doing with your book. And I really wanted you to share with everyone your inspiration for writing the book and the message that you were trying to send.
Wow, thank you. That's a loaded question or two. So, first of all, my book is called Amor Sui, The Modern Guide to Become a Phenomenal Woman. And my inspiration at the time, I would say, I felt a little lost. Like I had lost parts of me. And I was inspired to try to figure out how can I get to an emotionally balanced, positive space. And really, I had seen a lot of girls in high school and in college throughout my speaking engagements and throughout doing different events where I meet these young ladies. And it seemed like that was the kind of the message that was resonating around them. They were lost. They really didn't have a lot of mentorship. They didn't know who to turn to. So for me, it was a way to give back to them and a way to fulfill and find my positive emotional balance once again. So I wrote this book in sort of like a journal style. So every chapter has a lot of takeaways. It has a space that it really challenges you to try to push yourself to get to the core of yourself, if that makes sense. So really to dig deep and write down the things that you might not want people to know about you, but that you need to get to know about yourself. And the ultimate message for me was, if you don't love yourself, if you're not passionate about yourself and what you do and how you feel and the way you look, then how can you expect anyone to do that for you?
Wow. Wow.
How can you expect anyone to do that for you? So I think that was it for me. And I'm excited to put the book out because I've gotten great reviews, and not just from women. I've gotten a lot of reviews from men.
Yeah. You know, I will just tell you personally, you know, obviously I read the novel, and as your biggest critic, but also your biggest fan, there were a lot of key takeaways for me just from a male perspective, just understanding the different layers of a woman and the different challenges that women face on a daily basis. So, you know, fellas, I would definitely say get it for your wife, but definitely take a look at it as well. It's a very good read, very insightful.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you for having us. Thank you for coming on the show and being so transparent about what you do on a daily basis, and for allowing me to speak a little bit about my book. I'm really excited to go on this journey with you, and I'm so excited that we get to give back to people, to everybody who's watching this, and letting them know that you can be successful alone, you can be successful in a relationship. It's just a matter of what your comfort level and what works for you. So again, everybody, you can find us on Facebook, Healthy You TV show. You can watch our YouTube channel, take a look at all the awesome videos we have, all the delicious recipes we have online, and just live a healthy you. I'm your host, Jay, and I look forward to our next episode, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye. Say bye, Brad.
Bye.